afternoon everyone. This is Hannah from Oscha Slings, and today's live video we're going to be looking at our brand new releases. So we have two gorgeous new woolies to show you today, and I will be going over all of their wrapping qualities. I will give you the yarn details and show you everything up close as well as worn with my baby doll. And I invite you all to let me know where you're tuning in from today, and tell me, how is your January? So far January has been kind of wet and miserable here, but we have been really enjoying seeing all of our new releases come to life, and just getting together in the office has been lovely. We've got such a lovely team here at Oscha HQ, and I'm really enjoying spending time with everyone. So do say hello when you've joined us. Let me know how you're getting on this January, where you're tuning in from today, and we'll get started. So today I have two, as I mentioned, I have two new releases for you, and at the end of the video I will also show you our brand new mugs, travel mugs, and well, they're kind of new travel mugs and water bottles, so there's a slight change to some of the design that I want to show you, and the scale of one of them as well, so I'll show you those at the end. And we'll be releasing them tomorrow at our Secret Stash Happy Hour, and I'll also show you, I'll give you a reminder of the pre-order warp as well that is up and running at the moment. So at the end of the video I'll show you the water bottles and give you some more pre-order information. So hi there, Jennifer from Germany, lovely to have you with us. Hi Gita, hello. Hi there Cindy. Hi Caitlin. Oh, lovely to have you with us, Caitlin. You're our tester, I believe, so I do chip in with any of your feedback or thoughts on the wrap that you tested today. I would love to hear that. If you have any other things that you want to contribute as I mention them. Hi there Piper, lovely to have you, and Lorraine and Antonia. This is just lovely for this January afternoon. So first of all is our Aran Snug release. So this is our second release on the gorgeous and unique ceramic warp. So this is our 7-colour ceramic warp, which goes from this beautiful chocolatey brown down here all the way up into lovely warm apricot, and then into a kind of fresh almond colour at the top. And what's interesting about this release is that we have got a gorgeous woolly blend weft. So we actually have a llama blend for the weft of this sling, and that has been dyed in this most gorgeous rusty red colour. I'll bring that closer so that you can see it. And the llama wool adds a beautiful woolly texture to this sling. You can see the drape of the fabric as I move it through my hands. And with the llama wool, it brings the lovely insulating properties, temperature regulating, cosy, and it is also lanolin free, the llama wool, which can be good news for those of you who may be allergic to lanolin in sheep's wool. So it might be worth a try if you are sensitive to wool, to try llama. Now I'll show you the reverse as well, so you can see this beautiful rust red on the reverse of the fabric. And we've used our Aran knit pattern, which is inspired by Scottish knitwear, which is just so appropriate for this lovely winter woolly design, and this gorgeous llama blend. So let me wrap this one for you. Excuse me, I think some of the my fiber is catching the back of my throat there. So I'm going to pop this one up in a front wrap cross carry, and I'm going to do a pond finish on it, and tell you a little bit more about the wrap as I do so. So you can see the lovely grad there over the shoulder, and with the Aran knit pattern, so some of you may be aware that this is only the second time we've ever woven this one in a non-pocket weave weave. So this Aran knit, we adapted the design so that you could we could weave it on our standard jacquard warp. So we can have it in our satin weave rather than our pocket weave. And the design is just lovely. It's very subtle. You still get that kind of lovely movement from the kind of the way that the weave structure kind of treats the warp. So you get kind of heavier sections and lighter sections as it goes through the warp. And this one, for those of you who have been a fan of the Huga pre-order, this is they also had this one woven when it wasn't a pre-order, a pocket weave, sorry. So let me just tighten this up here. So it has been, we have chosen the lighter rail as the top rail, but of course you could always wear your wrap with the lighter, with the darker rail at the top and a lighter rail at the bottom if you so wished. Get my baby. Here we go. So this one is a kind of medium weight sling, and our tester, the lovely Caitlin, she said that it felt kind of on the slightly thinner side of medium for her. So the actual GSM of this one is 278 GSM, so it is a sort of medium weight sling, and as she was saying that it does feel slightly thinner. You can see that little bit hint of cush there for the sling, but it's not a particularly heavy sling, which means it's going to be great for all rounders really. You'll be able to wrap a small baby in this one all the way up to toddlerhood. And just as Caitlin said, she tried it with her older child, or wee one. And she was saying that certainly you would want to go for a double layer carry with this one for older babies. So you might want to do a double hammock, or certainly front wrap cross carry with the passes opened out for a heavier child. But if you're wrapping just with your little one, then single layer carry, or for short distances, short times, you might want to just go with a single layer carry. That would be absolutely fine as well. So I'm just going to bring this underneath and do a little twist with it, because I think that the grad really looks lovely. I'll pull that all the way across my back so you can see how beautiful it looks there with the grad. So with the llama fibres, so if you are sensitive to wool, as I say, it's lanolin free. So if it's a lanolin sensitivity you have, then it might well be worth looking at llama, as you will be able to have all the benefits of wool without the lanolin. However, it is, and although it's a wool, quite a woolly wrap, it doesn't feel particularly woolly. It doesn't have a particularly woolly texture to hand. I think Caitlin said that whenever she whenever she washed it, she did get a little bit more of that woolly texture coming through. So you could potentially be aware of that if you are sensitive to the woolly texture. But I have to say that I am not a huge fan of wool, but I'm really loving this texture of the llama. It is fairly smooth in hand, and you can see there that'll be the double knot at the back there as well, and it's not particularly chunky, which is great. Doesn't that just look gorgeous with a fancy finish? It's lovely, isn't it? So this one is £240 for a size 6, and that's including VAT. So you've got a lovely woolly blend here, and of course wool is such a luxurious yarn, and it is just such a lovely wintry wrap. And of course wool is a great temperature regulating fibre, so if you are looking to have a nice all-rounder, potentially not for particularly warm climates, but if you live like we do in the northern hemisphere, you might find that it could be a lovely option for you for many parts, for most of the year. Now let me see if we have any questions here from you all. And yes, Caitlin says that she definitely different to the lamb's wool. She agrees it's smooth in hand, just a slight prickle for those who may be sensitive. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Caitlin. And Caitlin's also mentioned that her review, she said that it feels strong without much stretch or give, but it feels cushy enough on my shoulders to be comfortable for fairly long carries with my youngest. And she's also mentioned that care does need to be taken to precisely tighten the fabric, because the slight woolly texture can cause the fabric to stick a little bit. So if you're doing double layer carries, you might find that you do need to take a little bit of care to really tighten it precisely. But once you've got it tied, it won't budge. So that's great. And let me see if there's any more questions or comments on the lovely llama wool blend. Caitlin says this wrap will absolutely shine with fancy finishes. Indeed it will. It's just such a lovely contrast from the darkest colour all the way up to the lightest colour. I always think that is the best way whenever you're doing a nice fancy finish, when you can show off the different parts of the warp and the weft. And the light rail is my favourite. It's so pretty and glowy, she says. Yes. And Caitlin says, I can't wait to use it more and feel the temperature regulation. I just know that it's super comfortable to wear. That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for joining me on the video today. It's super helpful to have you. Hi, Tara from Nova Scotia. Brilliant. Oh, I just caught my finger in the camera there for a second. Lovely. Okay, do let me know if you've got any comments, any thoughts, what you love about what I'm showing you. Ren says the darkest shade is beautiful on this ceramic warp. Indeed, it is gorgeous. So this is Aran Snug. So as a quick rundown, it is a beautiful woolly llama wool blend wrap. So the full blend is 59% BCI organic comb cotton and 41% llama, and it is 278 GSM, and it sort of feels on the slightly thinner side of medium weight. It's a great all-rounder. You'll be able to use this one with little babies all the way up to toddlerhood. It's temperature regulating, and it's got that little bit of cush for your shoulder. It's easy to tie and easy to tighten once. You may need to be a little bit precise, but once it's in place, it is absolutely stuck, and it's very minimal bounce with a little bit of cush, which makes for a really nice supportive carry. So that is Aran Snug. And for those of you who are not aware of what the word snug means, it just means a lovely cozy cuddle in a lovely snuggly spot. So it's definitely a well-used word here in the UK and Scotland anyway. I don't know if if anyone else uses that term, but we were always talking about snugs with my little ones, so having snugs. Alright, so I'll pop my baby down and then we'll have a look at the next one. So the second wrap we have today is the beautiful Constellation Cielo, which means sky in Italian. So this is woven on our classic deep sea warp, and it is amazing. Amazingly blue hues, so you get that lovely deep sea turquoise, tranquil skies, deep blue sea. And then we have chosen the stunning constellation pattern going all the way across. So if I bring it a little bit closer, you'll be able to see the texture of this sling. So what's really unusual and gorgeous about this release is that we've woven it with a 100% chenille weft. So it's a slightly lighter weight of chenille than what we used in our past towel fabric wraps. So the reason we call this like a towel fabric is that it has got that lovely kind of toweling feel from the chenille cotton. And I do have a little piece of chenille to show you so that you can get an idea of the texture, which I'll show you once I've wrapped the sling. Now the chenille fabric adds this lovely kind of fluffy texture to the sling, and it's lovely, cozy and cuddly, so it's great for this time of year if you're looking for a wool alternative perhaps. So maybe if you're looking for a vegan alternative, or you just prefer, if you're not a huge fan of wool, then this is a really lovely option. And I'll show you the weight of it actually in a wee knot here so you can get an idea of what it feels like, and also a little close-up of the back so you can see the texture of this gorgeous chenille fabric yarn. Now the reason again that we call it a towel fabric is that you can actually use this as a towel for your little one. So not only is it a great woolly alternative for the winter, it's also a wonderful summer wrap because you can take it to the beach with you, and you can you can carry your little one to the beach. You can have a little paddle in the sea, and then you can dry them off afterwards using your sling, and then march everybody back up to the car or to the bus home or to the walk home if you're so lucky to live near the seaside. And with it being cotton, it is nice and breathable, and it's really easy care, so you can pop it in the washing machine and it is easy to dry. So if you are out and about and you're using it as a towel, or if you are just looking to have it dry quickly at home after a wash, then you'll find that it does definitely dry more than our regular cotton. So I'll pop this one up in a front wrap cross carry and show you that one as well. So it really is incomparable in texture to our other cotton blends. It's a lovely, snuggly, cozy kind of feel, and it has it's a kind of, I guess, on a slightly thicker side in terms of the weight. So it's 314 GSM, so I maybe wouldn't use it with a newborn, but I would certainly use it with a little baby, maybe 3 months and up would be absolutely fine with this one. So it's a really versatile wrap, and you could also use it with toddlers. You may not even need to go for a double layer carry. There's such a lovely cushy texture on your shoulder, but I think that our tester did use a double layer carry for this one. She was trying it out with her 4-year-old and her 6-year-old, so that just shows you how long this one would last you if you do go for one of these. So I'll just get my baby doll and then I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Okay, so Marlene was our lovely tester for Constellation Cielo, and she has said that it is definitely mouldable and cushy, but not bouncy. So that means it stays really nice and supported, your shoulders will thank you, and it's just going to be a really lovely, comfortable carry because it's cushy without the bounce. And she has said that it stays in place, and my little one was nearly weightless compared to wearing with other wraps of hers, and that it washes well, and with the definition on the pattern works really well after a wash as well. So Marlene had said she wasn't totally sure how the Constellation pattern would survive washing. She worried that the chenille might fluff up a little bit more and you would lose some of the definition, and she said actually it was the opposite, where the chenille kind of puffed up a little bit and sort of raised the weft out of the warp. So it's a really lovely option if you are looking for something that is just really nice and cushy, like I say, as a vegan alternative to wool. It's not too thick in hand, but it's also a lovely supportive wrap if you do have heavier babies or a toddler. Let me make sure that I'm tying that correctly at the back. I'm being a little bit quick with my tightening. Make sure that it's... I better tighten that side. Let me just pin this side in between my legs and get that nice and perfect before we move on. Tighten each rail by rail. Let's see. So it doesn't have a huge amount of glide to it, this sling, so it is a little bit more on the grippy side, so you may have to do a little bit extra work to tighten, but like we say, once it's in place it is absolutely perfect. And like Marlene said, it's really nice and moldable, so it really fits against you and your baby really well. So the full blend of this one is 52% BCI organic combed cotton and 48% cotton chenille. And the price for size 6 is $186, including VAT for this one. And if I do my double knot there, you'll get to see what that looks like if I turn around to make sure that's all. You'll be able to see how that looks. So it's a little bit chunkier on the knot, but of course you could do a knotless finish. You could go for a shorter sling, and you could yeah, go for one of our knotless finish carries, or you could go for a ring sling, or even do a no-sew ring sling with it, or a slip knot carry. There's so many options. So let me see if there's any comments or questions about this one, and then I'll show you the little sample of the yarn as well, so that you can see what it looks like with that. Now, just having a look at your comments so that I'm not missing anything. Lovely. Okay, and Ella was saying that the previous wrap Aran Snug really suits me. That's lovely to hear. Thank you, Erin. And Elle says it sounds like snug isn't a word that you use in England. Okay, and Nicole says this Constellation Cielo is absolutely beautiful, and lots of oh my goodness and love for the colours. Stunning. And Piper says I'm so excited about this one. Jennifer is asking, is this the same chenille as the most recent towel pre-order or different? I believe it is the same chenille as the most recent towel pre-order. I think that's what Zoe just said, but I can confirm after the video, Jennifer, for you. And Miriam says, should be the thin one, the old one was a lot thicker. Yes, so this is the thinner chenille. So the old one, the previous releases that we've done in-house have been like a thick strand of chenille, and then a thin strand of like our regular cotton, and then chenille and so on. So you'd get like a ribbed texture, but it also still made for a really quite a thick wrap, whereas this is 100% cotton chenille in the weft, and so the yarn is much thinner. And Ren says, Ivan would like to know, is it Evie? Is it Evie, or how do you pronounce your little one's name, Ren? I would like to know what the baby doll is named. Oh, we should have a naming thread. She doesn't have a name. Maybe you could ask your little one, Ren, to suggest a name, and we'll go with that name for her or him, whatever your wee one would prefer. Elle says, thank you for making vegan wraps. You're very welcome. It's absolutely part of who we are, is definitely catering for all in terms of the yarns that we make, but also having a real nod to obviously sustainability, so it's important for us to make sure that we do make vegan wraps as well. Hi there, Marlene. Do comment on anything that you'd like to add or anything around the wrap. Kelly says, have you found there to be a popular sizing for this type of wrap, or has it been varied quite a bit? So I think it has been varied quite a bit. I'm not sure if the thicker chenille that we did previously I don't know whether people find like a shorter carry to be kind of really handy for the beach, for example, for like quick ups if you're doing like a ruck or something. But then again, if you've got a longer wrap, then you can kind of have a little bit more versatility there. I don't know exactly in terms of the popularity of them, but I think maybe just have a think about what you would use the wrap for most, and then you can think about whether to go for a shorty or a longer carry. Okay, Ren, so your little one is called Ivan. Okay, lovely, Ivan. We'll ask Ivan what we should call the dolly, and we'll call the dolly. Oh, she's calling it Mia. Perfect. We'll go with Mia or Maya. How do we pronounce that? Okay. So Piper's asking, yes, will there be made to order and carriers as well on this one? Yes, so you'll be able to order both of these in made to order, so you can order any of our accessories and any of our carriers, and there'll also be ready-made wraps and ring slings going up on the website on Wednesday evening for them. Oh, and Tara says that her 3-year-old just suggested the same name. Well, that's it. It's Mia. Perfect. Will the made to order be very limited for Constellation? I don't think it will be too limited. Well, I say that now. We've got about 50 wraps worth, so it depends what people are ordering. So there will be less on the website because we will be making wraps and ring slings. So I guess if it's particularly popular, you might want to come on Wednesday to secure one, because I couldn't guarantee that there would definitely be some left. Just with the quantities are not huge, but at the same time they're also not like super limited. So if you do love Constellation, I'd probably recommend to go for it sooner rather than later. With the Aran Snug, there's a little bit more fabric for this one, so you want to have this one as a lovely winter woolly for the rest of the winter. So this one we have ordered a little bit extra to be able to have that lovely woolly offering to as many of you as possible. So there's a little bit more of the Aran Snug, but again, who knows, they could be really popular as well. So let me show you the chenille yarn as I promised. I'll just show it up against this black card here. I'm trying to get it. Oops. So it is a cotton yarn with little like cotton pile coming out of each side. Don't know if that might be easier to, it's kind of struggling to focus, I think. But yeah, it's a really, really lovely texture. And for those of you who are French, you might know that, well, you will know, but for those of you who are not French, chenille actually means caterpillar. So it does look like a little caterpillar. There, that's actually probably the best way to show you is actually without the card, because you can really see that lovely fluffy texture all the way along. So that's actually the weft yarn. And you can see how you get that beautiful fluffy fuzzy texture on the sling, which adds to its cush and its toweling qualities. Lovely, so this is Constellation Cielo, which means sky in Italian, and as a summary then, it's our lovely towel-like fabric, so it's great for the beach or great as a woolly alternative for the winter. It's strong and supportive, it's cushy, it's going to be a good all-rounder from maybe 3 months upwards. Wonderful for toddlers as well, dries quickly, it's cuddly, and it is, yeah, just a lovely kind of medium to heavyweight wrap, and you'll be able to order it on Wednesday during our Secret Stash happy hour. And Marlene has, who's our tester, has said that this wrap is so comfy and snuggly, we love it, which is such a lovely quote. Thank you so much. And Morgan is saying, I'm from the USA, are you planning any hemp in the future? I love hemp for my seat popping daughter. Good question, Morgan. I'm sure we will have some hemp coming soon. I know that it skyrocketed in price last year, so we have been using a little bit less hemp than we used to for that reason, because it's just so dear that, you know, we do have to increase our prices to accommodate for that. So I will have a look for you and see if we've got any hemp coming up, but that is one of the reasons why we haven't had as much hemp coming out as we normally would. So yes, but do let me know if you've got any other questions. Elle says we love hemp too. I know it's a brilliant blend, so we definitely will. We haven't stopped using it, but that is one of the reasons why we don't have quite as much this year. So let me show you our water bottles and our travel mugs. So for those of you who haven't seen these before, these are our moon travel mugs. So we have teamed up with this company to make a couple of our Middle Earth designs. So this is the packaging here, and comes in this lovely tote bag. I open it out, and then we have had these ones on the website for a while, but they've actually sold out, Rohan, and we've decided to design some more with a bigger etching. So that's our Rohan design, which takes up bigger space, more space than the other one. So it's completely leak proof, and it is just such a gorgeous design. So if you're looking to make a sustainable choice or change in 2024, then investing in a travel mug might be the perfect thing for you. And then we have stainless steel, that one. And then we've got the water bottle as well. So we've decided to bring out the Misty Mountains water bottle in a smaller size. So if you find the previous bottles a little bit big, you can see here we have a stainless steel water bottle with the Misty Mountains design on black as well. So it's a kind of matte black with a shiny etching. And these keep your hot drinks hot for 12 hours and your cold drinks cold for 24. I guess you could put soup in it as well if you wanted, if you were taking a packed lunch somewhere. But these will both be stocked on our website on Wednesday during our Secret Stash happy hour as well. And let me just see, there's a few more. This has a lovely kind of soft base too, so it's silent when you put it down. Just realised that. Let me see if there's any other questions here, comments. Oh, lovely to have you with us, Tegan. I'm glad you joined us after your night shift. Morgan is asking, is there a recommendation for seat poppers other blends? So certainly linens are really similar to hemp in terms of their properties, so that might be good. You might also want to look at different carries, which might be your answer to seat popping. So we do have a great blog actually on our website, which I'll link to you here, about different carries that you can do for different temperaments of little ones. So it might be that you can look at a different carry to practice. And I know that there's, oh yeah, there's Caitlin saying exactly the same thing. I know there's a few carry options you can try to help with seat poppers, but she doesn't have any recommendations. I could use recommendations too. My little one loves popping her seat just as I'm finishing the wrap job. So I'm not sure whether you're in our Facebook group Clan Oscha, Morgan, but perhaps a thread in there would be the best place to get recommendations for seat popping carries, and then we can share links to videos as well. And Ella's asking, do you ever do accessories in non-Middle Earth patterns? We do, certainly our scarves and shawls, baby blankets, we do and we do have one water bottle on the website in our Augmenta Lunae design, so you might want to check that one out. It's a lovely blue shade in the water bottle, so we've got those online. So we do definitely, yes, I should have brought one of those with me as well. It was just because these ones were out of stock and we're restocking them. So we do normally do our mainline patterns as well as our Middle Earth patterns. So last but not least, let me show you the pre-order warp and remind you about the pre-order that's running at the moment. So just one moment. So this is the pre-order warp that we have running at the moment, which is the amazing Rainbow Lovers. So if you love rainbows, I would highly recommend you go and join their group. So Oscha Rainbow Lovers, and this one is their brand new rainbow grad, which we have worked closely with the group on, and we are also and they now have their collection all finalised, and it's up on the website, it's ready for orders, and it will close on Friday at 4 o'clock. So if you're looking for a rainbow wrap, then this is your chance. It's a stunning fresh rainbow, and it's quite different to any of our other rainbows that we have run in the past, so I would definitely recommend it. So the patterns that they have are Lothlorien, Hobbit Quest, Papillon, Liana, Erwin, Braid, Rohan, and our new pattern Cranes. So there's some really lovely wefts going on there, and you'll be able to see all the mock-ups there too. And some of the wraps are this way up with the purple at the top and the gorgeous pink at the bottom. So thank you, Jess, for sharing your link. And Caitlin says, I do love the softer colours in the rainbow warp. And Tegan says, any news on Mythos or Northern Lights? Yes, they are being, the Mythos has been woven, I believe. The Northern Lights is being woven. We should have an update for you very soon. We want to send your emails out with the loom shots, but we do sometimes have a delay from the mill with those images. So sometimes we do receive the images of the loom shots a little bit later, and even once the items have been woven. So we're just waiting for the last pictures before we send you those. Yes. And Miriam says, any cranes planned as regular release too? So we have planned our releases up until the summer, but or till the spring, but we haven't actually placed the orders yet for the autumn. So I'm sure we could look at some cranes. That's a good idea because they are super gorgeous, the crane design. So we'll need to remember to include that as the options to see if any of our warps and wefts would work with it. Lovely. All right, thanks Jess for sharing. Okay, so I think that is everything I've got to show you today. So come and join us for our lovely Secret Stash Happy Hour on Wednesday, 31st of January at 7 p.m. GMT. This is Aran Snug, which is our latest release on the beautiful ceramic warp, and I think it's the last release on the ceramic for a while. We just have the two releases that we've shown you already on this one at the moment, and then we've got our lovely Constellation Cielo, which is coming out on Wednesday as well. Thank you all so much for watching and joining me today. I look forward to chatting with you all again in a couple of weeks' time. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Bye.